Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I am so excited because I get to spend the holiday season with each and every one of you. Having said that, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody watching this video. We've got a lot to get to when it comes to Descendants and Zombies, and so many conversations that have yet to be had and heard by so many people who have been inspired, who have become fans of Descendants and Zombies throughout the years, because it's been an incredible 10 years for me, not only having the chance to talk about Descendants and Zombies, but having the honor to meet so many incredible fans who have felt inspired by their favorite characters and these defining moments that have made them fans of Descendants and Zombies, because some of you have been here from the very beginning. And I have each and every one of you to thank for the success this YouTube channel has seen, because some of the very first subscribers that I ever had here are still here subscribed to this YouTube channel, because they believe in the direction of this YouTube channel. They believe in these franchises so much, and such things like Zombies 5 is going to happen, Descendants 5 is eventually going to come to be a reality for every fan of Descendants and Zombies. And I have each and every one of you to thank, because you guys took a loser on YouTube and turned him into a celebrity seemingly overnight for every video that I was uploading about your favorite stars such as Kylie Cantrall and Freya Sky, whom I believe in so much. When we talk about a future for Kylie Cantrall and Freya Sky, undeniably there is going to be a future, and it's going to be something that we are going to marvel in. It's going to really be history that we are all going to be a part of, and history that I'm excited about for these stars, because it's been a long time coming. Unquestionably, they may still have a long way to go figuring out their place in the world, because she's only 16 years old. Kylie Cantrall, I believe, is only just 20 years old, having turned 20 earlier this year. But I think that even though they still have a long way to go, eventually they will find their place in the world, because it has everything to do with the love and support that we've shown for them over this last year. Events like the Worlds Collide Tour, all these concert dates for Kylie Cantrall as she promotes her EP, which is always a constant struggle, have been phenomenal. Freya Sky's got a sold-out world tour in so many venues across this planet coming up, and I'm really excited to be covering that for each and every one of you, because we have so many people out there who are crazy about Freya Sky, who love her so much. And I want to say thank you so much for having become fans of Freya Sky as quickly as what you guys have. 18,000 likes I saw this morning on just one Freya Sky music video. I believe it was Walk On Over. It was a beautiful music video that I believe was shot in London. They had the double-decker bus. They had Freya Sky looking in through a window, looking at the London newspaper. It was a really beautiful music video for how it was collaborated. The choreographing for everything that Freya Sky's got going on for her right now is beautiful. And I think she belongs in that conversation for a Taylor Swift of the future, or a Miley Cyrus of the future, because of just how far she has come. I think that if we choose not to give her the benefit of the doubt and give her more of a chance, then we're pretty much missing out on an opportunity. But I think everybody is noticing the potential that goes with Freya Sky and wanting to give her more of a chance than perhaps ever before. I think what it has everything to do with for me is how I've noticed that Freya Sky is so appreciative of the moments she's had to spend with each and every one of you, surrounding herself with her fans, because you guys have been incredibly supportive of her, and she's been incredibly supportive of every dream that you guys have ever had, because you guys have felt more inspired than ever before because of your favorite Descendants and Zombies characters and how they really identify with each and every one of you because of your own lives and what you may have been going through. I know that Descendants and Zombies really allowed me to find my place in the world, to be able to record so many wonderful videos for people who have felt inspired by these franchises. Having said that, I think every single time that you record a video about Descendants and Zombies, you really got to put your heart behind every video, and you really got to tell the world, and can never be too afraid to tell the world how Descendants and Zombies makes you feel and how much you appreciate these franchises, because these franchises have come such a long way in such a short amount of time, which is truly unbelievable for every fan who has ever taken a chance on these franchises, which I have to say thank you so much for having done that, because these stars are being presented more opportunities than ever before because of each and every one of you. And this is exactly what I wanted to have happen for Kylie Cantrall. You know something, guys? I would love the opportunity to meet Kylie Cantrall, and I would love the opportunity to tell Kylie Cantrall how much of an inspiration and how much of an impact she's had on each and every one of our lives, because so many people will choose to criticize Kylie Cantrall without even giving her much of a chance. But I think that if we had the opportunity to meet Kylie Cantrall, kind of hang out with her, get to know her for the person that she is, I think many of us would come away with a greater appreciation for her, because I think there are a lot of people that would give anything for the opportunity to meet Kylie Cantrall. You know, I remember these TikTok videos videos that she would upload where she would call individual fans, having the chance to have meets and greets with them over the phone. And I remember how crazy everybody felt about Kylie Cantrall when Descendants for the Rise of Red was at the heights of its popularity. And Kylie Cantrall would just touch your heart just by giving you a simple phone call. And then I would go as far as to see these meet and greets on YouTube and how appreciative she was of the moments she had to share with each and every one of you. Not only that, but when it came to the PR for Descendants, Kylie Cantrall was always there to support the franchise because she believed in it so much. And I would go as far to say that Kylie Cantrall believed in these franchises more than Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson ever did, which is why I refuse to believe that characters like Ruby Rose Turner's character Bridget and Malia Baker's character Chloe Charming's stories are far from over. They are just being started to be told, and they are far from having been told and completed, because I think you can offer more of an opportunity for people like Ruby Rose Turner to kind of come back into the franchise and find her place as a Descendants character, because it's one thing to introduce her to exemplify the implications of bullying and the profound impact that it can have on a person's heart, because I know that every one of us have encountered some form of bullying in one way or another, in some shape or form, that we kind of have to brush off our shoulders and kind of try to forget about, even though sometimes it's really difficult to do that. But I have this to say to Ruby Rose Turner: she offered so much to this franchise, and I refuse to close the door on her ever having anything else to do with this franchise, because she became everybody's favorite character because of how bubbly she was and just how appreciative she was of life, and having the opportunity to spend each and every one of these moments with each and every one of us who were fans of Descendants of Zombies, who were captivated because of these characters that people like Kylie Cantrall and Ruby Rose Turner brought to life. I think it had everything to do with their friendship and how they were there for each other every step of the way, which is something I really commend them for, because I think we never see this enough on the set of shows like Descendants of Zombies. I think if we saw it more, we'd have a greater appreciation and understanding of what these stars really go through. And I really wish Descendants of Zombies had a dedicated director, somebody sitting in that director's chair that wasn't so much of a revolving door, because if you had somebody showing just as much dedication as what they have to this franchise, I think this franchise would be brought to life and be given more of a chance than perhaps ever before. We've gone from Kenny Ortega to Jennifer Fang to now eventually what became Kimmy Gatewood for Descendants 5 Book Wonderland. I think what you really got to have is a director who's dedicated to the franchises and who listens to every fan of Descendants of Zombies. And until you come up with that formula and present that chance to every fan of Descendants of Zombies who have taken more of a chance on this franchise than ever before, only great things will happen for the Descendants franchise, because the director's chair has pretty much become a revolving door. You know, people like Kenny Ortega just look at it as an opportunity to kind of come in, sit in the director's chair and bring it to life, and then pretty much just sign on for 3 movies and leave. It kind of reminds me of what they did with the original Spider-Man trilogy years ago. Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst only signed up for 3 movies. But even though they only signed up for 3 movies, everybody held on to the belief that there was going to be a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst playing Spider-Man and Mary Jane Watson. While it may have never happened and more people came in and out as a revolving door to kind of play Spider-Man like Tom Holland many years later, I think that everybody believed in a franchise so much that they never wanted to quit on it. And I think this is why Disney has tried to take full advantage of trying to reintroduce us to characters like Spider-Man and the Avengers over the years when you talk about the Marvel multiverse. Even though it's really difficult to kind of get into the Marvel multiverse, people have been fans of superheroes for years, and this is why they haven't gone anywhere anytime soon, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon, because Disney's always going to capitalize on opportunities to promote them. We saw it at the Macy's Day Parade with a gigantic Spider-Man float. And I think that every single time we see our favorite Descendants of Zombie stars partake in things like the Macy's Day Parade, when you talk about Kylie Cantrall having the opportunity to perform, I believe this year it was Zombie star Meg Donnelly who had the chance to perform her song Dancing Around. And I have to tell you guys, having the opportunity to see videos of this online really is what I wanted to see happen for Meg Donnelly, because she is one star who deserves more of a chance to be taken on her than ever before. I say this because I have seen so many videos where Meg Donnelly's been second-guessing her criteria and her performance level, thinking she's not good enough. The thing is, the reason why she feels she's not good enough is because of how so many people are posting so many critical reviews about her performances, how they feel about her, and it's really completely unnecessary. I think if people continue to back off Meg Donnelly and back off Kylie Cantrall and give them more of a chance, I think only great things are going to happen for them. Kylie Cantrall is in this for the long haul with Descendants. She's not going anywhere anytime soon because of the appreciation she's had for these franchises, unlike Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, who could have a far greater appreciation for the Descendants franchise, believing they told the story and completed it for the obvious reasons. The death of Cameron Boyce, how they closed the barrier and what have you for the Descendants franchise. But the reason why Disney is introducing us to so many characters for the Descendants franchise is because they too never want to see this story end, and they realize the popularity of the Descendants franchise. And as long as Descendants and Zombies continues to remain popular against so many age demographics, Descendants and Zombies isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So because of that, we have so much to be excited about for the foreseeable future when it comes to the Descendants and Zombies franchises, because we still have a long way to go. And I've always had this issue with never wanting to say goodbye to franchises. I've been very honest about this because what with me, what you see is what you get. I've never wanted to say goodbye to Hannah Montana. I never wanted to say goodbye to High School Musical, which is why I was really proud how Disney took the High School Musical franchise and turned it into a series for Disney Plus, because it went on to achieve so much for Verity, and Kylie Cantrall and several other Descendants stars had an opportunity to perform as part of that franchise, which really gave it life and incentive. I believe Uliana was also part of that cast. I think I'm right in having said that for the High School Musical, the series. And Kylie Cantrall's short time lived on that franchise gave her a chance to really break out and really introduce herself as a new character that we had never see her play apart from Gabby Dern in The Unsittables, Ravensholm as Jasmine. There are so many opportunities that Kylie Cantrall had, but yet still so many opportunities for Kylie Cantrall to really break out and become the star and become recognized the way she's forever and always deserved to be recognized. Her fashion sense is truly incredible. Her music videos are mind-blowing, and the same thing can be said about Freya Sky. The opportunity was presented for her to be a part of this Snow Angels music video, and she took full advantage of it. And I think the chemistry that herself and Malachi Burton brought to the set of these Snow Angels music video was something that we knew was going to happen for them, kind of like how on Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampire set, we knew the chemistry was there for these two. They were finishing each other's sentences. They were so supportive of each other. They never counted each other out, and because they were so supportive of each other, they were able to make a project like Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampire's work, which was 3 years well worth the wait. Because 3 years well worth the wait presented us with a powerful script, a powerful story, more characters than ever before, and gave us something to really believe in. And I think that's really where the critics saw an advantage to take full advantage of an opportunity to criticize something they really didn't know anything about. Because anybody out there who reviews the Daywalkers and the Nightwalkers should know what a Daywalker and a Nightwalker is. A Daywalker is a vampire that can exist in the daytime with the acid of a moonstone. A Nightwalker is a vampire that has existed for hundreds, if not thousands of years, that can exist in the nighttime. And the two groups presented confliction, because they both thought they were better than each other and they wanted to go to war. But even though they wanted to go to war because of a misunderstanding and confliction, I think Meg Donnelly and Milo Manhunt, along with Freya Sky and Malachi Burton, were able to pull it together and make everybody realize that they had to show the world, like the song suggested, that they were better than that. And they could be the best of friends, even though they were dealing with so much confliction and so many misunderstandings. And I think we reached a mutual understanding and a bond, a close-knit bond, because of what these characters offered to this franchise, which made it so fun for me, being a fan of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires and having a chance to review it and becoming one of the most revered reviewers online when it came to Descendants and Zombies. Because I think never enough nice things can be said about these franchises. Never enough more of a chance can be taken on franchises that we believed in so much. And I have this to say to each and every one of you. If you believe that Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim haven't been seen or heard from for the last time, then perhaps you should hold on to that belief. Because sitting behind the camera as a director and writer and producer for Descendants and Zombies will offer a lot of creative direction for this franchise, because we still have a long way to go. So because we still have a long way to go, that means that there are so many chances for new storylines to be presented, so many far more supernatural characters yet to see their introduction into this franchise. I mean, you can choose to look at Zombies as a franchise that had a 6.2 rating, coming just behind Descendants with a 6.4 rating, separating the two, and millions of people having watched this franchise and say the story's been told and completed. But if you have a greater appreciation for Supernatural, you will know there are so many characters that can be talked about and discussed and introduced in these franchises that can have more of a chance taken on them than perhaps ever before. And I may be just saying this because I've had always a huge appreciation for supernatural characters. I watched The Vampire Diaries, I watched True Blood, I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in the latter part of the 1990s. 1997 was a huge year for me because in March of that year, Buffy the Vampire Slayer premiere went down. And I remember that night watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time ever and saying, there's so much of a history that exists with these vampires. And I think this is a series that I want to take a chance on. And so too, many years later came the Vampire Diaries and the Twilight Saga. And I was such a huge fan of it. I felt more than intrigued by these franchises and these characters that were brought to light by people like Kirsten Stewart and Robert Pattinson and Taylor Lautner, because they really went all out with the franchise because they believed in it so much. And this is exactly what I'm seeing for the Zombies and Descendants franchises. So if you are somebody who's become captivated, who's felt enthralled, who's felt inspired, who's felt marveled by these franchises, I'm here to tell each and every one of you, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think if you continue to believe in that, there's more of a chance to be taken on these franchises than ever before. Now, I know that Zombies 5 will receive its criticism, and for sure, Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland is going to encounter a fair share of criticism. But what's going to outshine each and every bit of that criticism is each and every one of us for the love and support that we've shown these franchises through the years. Because the love and support that we've shown these franchises through the years has been nothing short of phenomenal, and an experience that I'm never ever going to forget. Because having the chance to sit in front of this camera each and every single time I've had the chance to record my thoughts and opinions on Descendants of Zombies really has become the greatest honor of my life, and an honor that I will never ever forget. Because it's beyond me why people will choose to criticize Descendants of Zombies without even giving it much of a chance. And if you notice anything about these reaction videos, most of these reaction videos, at least 95% of them, are videos that are being uploaded where people aren't giving it much of a chance. So because people aren't choosing to give it much of a chance, they're choosing to criticize it because they don't know the first thing about being a fan of Descendants of Zombies. This is why the greater appreciation has always come from the fans of Descendants of Zombies, because you guys have forever and always wanted to give this franchise more of a chance than perhaps ever before. You've taken chances on Kylie Cantrall. You've wanted to take a chance on Freya Sky without even knowing that much about her. And the thing is, they're incredibly talented. They are so full of life and incentive. So because they are so full of life and incentive, more of a chance needs to be taken on them than ever before. I'll be honest with each and every one of you. I thought the Zombies franchise had a cool story. How a girl could fall in love with a zombie and want to stay in love with them for the rest of her life. This is exactly what I wanted to have happen for the Disney franchise as a whole, because I think forever and always they've been waiting on these franchises to come along and come from out of nowhere and captivate millions of people and tell stories about Alice in Wonderland characters and Cinderella characters to make people feel inspired. And that's what's so amazing about the Descendants of Zombies franchises, is that they've never had this ever quit on you attitude that people have felt inspired by. And I've had the honor to meet so many incredible fans who have taken a chance on me and subscribed to this YouTube channel, because there's no place in the world I would rather be than having the honor to sit behind this microphone to a reviewed Descendants of Zombies and hundreds of videos that I've had the honor of uploading to this YouTube channel, because I've some way or somehow been able to touch your heart in every video that I've ever uploaded, because I've always wanted to convey a message of kindness, and you guys through the last year have helped me spread that message of kindness, and because of you I have each and every one of you to thank. And if I were here all day to thank each and every one of you individually, it would be about a 3-hour long video, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say thank you so much to everybody for all the love and support that you've shown this YouTube channel, and hopefully will continue to show for the foreseeable future, because we still have a long way to go, and we've got a lot to show these critics about Descendants of Zombies, because this story is far from over. I'm really excited to be a part of it. I have never felt more honored to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies. Perhaps I can get away with doing it at least one more time. Your voice of Descendants and Zombies, Zombies, Zombies. Oh yeah. Gotta turn down that echo. I love recording these videos for each and every one of you who have felt inspired by the Descendants of Zombies franchise, who will forever and always continue to feel inspired by this franchise, because I think never enough encouragement can be offered to people who love these franchises so much, who have felt captivated because of these franchises. And you have every reason to believe that Zombies 5 is forthcoming. Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland is going to be one of the best productions we've ever seen before. I think Disney Plus is going to skyrocket to the heights of popularity. More people are going to subscribe than ever before because of Descendants. There are people out there who actually have subscribed to Disney Plus just because of the Descendants of Zombies franchises. God love each and every one of you for showing this love and support for Descendants of Zombies. There are people out there that only have Disney Plus because of Zombies or Descendants or both. That's really incredible. You know, years ago I subscribed to Netflix because of WWE, And that's the only reason why I have Netflix, because I was a wrestling fan. I believed wrestling was real. And you guys feel just that passionate about Descendants of Zombies, and that's really cool. And one of the reasons why I only watch Disney Plus is because of Descendants of Zombies. I'm just like each and every one of you, because I have a greater appreciation of growing up like a fan and having a greater appreciation for all these stars and all these characters Disney has created and these concepts that people didn't really want to take much of a chance on because I thought they were cool. I thought it was so fun being a fan of Descendants of Zombies, which is why the greatest honor of my life became hosting the show, not only having the chance to talk about Descendants of Zombies, but having the honor to meet each and every one of you, and I have each and every one of you to thank for this opportunity, this chance that each and every one of you gave me. A chance you took on me that you never really had to begin with. But some of the very first subscribers that I've ever had are still here on this YouTube channel, and I have each and every one of you to thank because of that. Thank you so much from my heart to yours for allowing me to have been your voice of Descendants of Zombies and to help you make sense of these two franchises, which we still have a long way to go because of. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for spending your Saturday afternoon with me, the host of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs. You've been watching the latest episode, of course, of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs, where we discuss everything related to Descendants of Zombies. If you haven't subscribed, you're probably wanting to go ahead and get that out of the way right now because I have a lot to discuss where it goes with Descendants of Zombies. Thank you so much for watching this video, because the only thing that forever and always remains is to stay calm and zombie on into this foreseeable future, because we have so much to be excited about and still so much of a long way to go.